Hey everyone, it's Brandon here with Front Page Pop, bringing you all the latest in celebrity news and reality TV. I am here today with the amazing, talented, beautiful model Whitney Thompson from America's Next Top Model, the winner of Cycle 10. Hi, Whitney.
Hi, that's way too kind of an introduction, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We are here to talk all about America's Next Top Model and your experience on the show, as well as your reaction to and experience on the Netflix documentary about the show. So I'm excited to dive into
Great.
all that.
Let's go.
Awesome. So jumping right in, just like at a high level, share with me your thoughts about the Netflix documentary as a whole after you watched it.
Yeah, well, a documentary is like reality TV, right? Like you go in, you shoot for hours and hours, and then you have no idea what they're going to actually show. So I shot an entire day by myself, just with the crew. And I think I'm in like 2 minutes max of the documentary. So yeah, I feel like I said a lot that didn't get put in there, but when I signed on to do the show, Tyra wasn't even going to be on it. So I'm sure once she decided to do the show, they're like, Whitney, who? Like, now it's all about Tyra. And that's fine. That's their prerogative. So, yeah, I was learning just as much as everyone else while I was watching it.
Yeah. Was there anything in it that really surprised you that you didn't know about? Obviously, there was stuff about other contestants, but was there anything specific that kind of jumped out at you?
Yeah, well, I didn't even really watch the shows like before I went on the show. My sister
Mhm.
was always a fan. So when I was seeing the Shandy thing happen, not to say I hadn't seen it in passing before, but I
Sure.
my jaw was on the floor. And the same thing with Kenya. And I actually
Mhm.
remember watching Kenya's episode and thinking, because she, says, like, I'm going to be mature, I'm going to stop the shoot, explain my situation. 100% she's in the right. That's absolutely what anyone would have done,
Right.
And then Jay looking at her and like rolling his eyes. And I remember being a little girl, like, she's just being difficult. And it's like, wow, like, how gaslit were we into
Hmm.
thinking that she was being a diva by just wanting bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I was I was really surprised seeing those things back too.
Yeah. Was there anything major that you shared that got cut that you wanted to share now?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, because it's like once you get it out, you kind of forget. It feels like I've released this into the universe and now I'm free of it. But predominantly what I said on the show was what I think, which is that, like, yes, it was bad. It was a bad time, but there was nothing that Tyra wasn't doing that was actually not already happening in the industry. Like calling me plus size, that wasn't Tyra, that was the industry. Size
Hmm.
4 was considered too fat to model. And even the ridiculous things that she had girls do, like when they were getting hypothermia, um, shit like that was happening. Models didn't have rights
Hmm.
at all. So by Tyra bringing those things to light on the show, no, it doesn't make her look good, but those things were happening. So
Right.
it kind of like forced people, like, oh my God, they're treating models get treated this way, and this
Hmm.
is considered plus size, and um, and she did change the industry, I think, for the better by having the show.
Yeah.
Not to say that it was done correctly or whatever, but I do want to just give some credit because, that show's in 180 countries and plus size models were not accepted. I mean, I was the first plus model for like every major brand because they just didn't have like Forever 21. And I mean, like household names did
Mhm.
not sell anything over a size 8. Yeah. So, like, just having the show, showing things like that to people all over the world. Yeah, I think Top Model did change the fashion industry for the best.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it wasn't messed up. Um, and I do think that some credit should be taken
Hmm.
by someone. And I don't just mean Tyra, though. I feel like Jay Manuel, and I hate, like, I don't want to throw him under the bus. I don't want to be like a backstabbing bitch, but
Well, that was
I
my next question, so it works out.
Perfect. We already know. So when I watched the show, I was like flabbergasted that he really took no responsibility.
Hmm.
Nigel, we only saw on set at panel at judging or when he was doing a shoot with us, which was like
Right.
once in the whole cycle.
Hmm.
So he can claim he didn't know anything unless he was on set because the judges wouldn't, right? They wouldn't have told them what was
Yeah.
happening in the scenes. Same for Miss J. She would do a runway class with us one time during the show, and then she
Hmm.
was a judge. Jay Manuel was on the creative team. He was
Hmm.
coming up with the concepts that were happening on the show that were being photographed. Things like using Kenya with her body issues, making her the elephant. You know, so and so's mom got shot. Guess what? That's what she's modeling this week. He was part of that. And then in addition to that, he was on every single challenge with us. So obviously, you're going to know the gossip, everything behind the scenes because we're talking. And then he was on every single photo shoot.
Yeah.
So for him to just be like, yeah, you know, like Nigel and the other Jay, like, no, no,
Yeah.
you guys are not the same. Um, and I do think everyone gets, you know, should take some responsibility, but I think Jay Manuel specifically should have taken a lot more. And it just doesn't sit well with me that he really just threw Tyra under the bus. Like it
Yeah.
was her fault that he couldn't quit, but then he was mad that she fired him. Like you got
Pick one.
what? Yeah, they can't both be true, right?
Yeah. And that was kind of my next question. So, in addition to Jay Manuel, we kind of had Miss J and Ken Mock, who made a very, very brief appearance in the
Yeah,
documentary, as well as I think her name was Dawn, like the head of UPN or whatever. Um,
that was weird.
yeah, I mean, she's flat out said, I don't regret anything we put out on television. So,
And they're not a network anymore, right? So
yeah,
like
right. So, we
so
saw how
maybe
that worked
that's why.
out. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like they were playing like hot potato or something with accountability. Like, no, you did it, and no, you
Not
did
it. Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said there. And
Yeah,
Ken Mock was definitely, I mean, he was at every single interview we did behind the scenes. He very much had his hands in it. He's the one who threatened all of us after we won with the massive lawsuit if we told anyone. But he was always very kind to me. I never thought, you know, anything ill of him.
sure.
That was just that was his position at the time. And I do think, at least on the documentary, he did say at one point, like, that was completely my fault. I take responsibility. And it's like, oh, hot damn, somebody took responsibility for something.
Hallelujah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I watched it just like everybody else. Like,
So there were two things in the documentary that I think surprised a lot of fans, especially like the more casual fans,
mhm.
um, regarding you. So I want to just kind of ask about them or clarify them. So you mentioned you were a vegan, or are a vegan.
Yeah, no, I am a vegan. It's not something that I really like to talk about because I became like a very self-righteous vegan. I was vegan hardcore for 6 years, and I think I've mentioned my mom has multiple sclerosis and autoimmune disorder. And she went vegan, she went into remission, and so I was doing it, yeah, for health reasons.
Yeah.
And then after 6 years of never eating anything that wasn't vegan, I just became like kind of the caricature vegan that I hated. I did. And so I kind of had to step back because it's like everyone's on their own journey and they're doing their own thing.
Hmm.
Yes, like I prefer to not eat meat or dairy. That's my prerogative, but um, I'm not gonna force it on you. You know, like we all got there the same way. And that being said, I'm sure a lot of people are like, but you're not skinny. And to that, I say Oreos and French fries are vegan,
Yeah,
bitch. Uh,
exactly.
so yeah, maybe we're not on the health side so much, more on the like, I want my planet to still be here for my children. I think that it's better for the environment. I love the idea of not, you know, causing harm to animals. But yeah, I was actually kind of annoyed that they put that in there. Like, of all the things I said, that was the one. I'm like, I'm not, it's personal to me.
Uh-huh.
Um, I know people hate vegans. I know. I don't want to give people another
Yeah.
reason to hate me. It was just funny because they're like, oh, what about the meat underwear? What about the shoot? And I was like, oh my God, I'm vegan now. That's so funny. Like, maybe that's why. And then, of course, it made the cut. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
No, I
Yeah.
think that's why people were curious because they were like, oh, well, maybe they did the meet photo shoot to like try to get something out of Whitney, but they didn't get anything out of her, so maybe they just like skipped over that storyline.
No, and it's
Okay.
I'm like, this is why vegans hate me. Because when we did the meat shoot on camera, I hate watching the show back. I haven't seen it in like a decade. But I go, like I eat meat, duh, or some shit like that. It's so stupid. But I say it
Uh-huh.
on the show. So no, I was not a vegetarian or vegan at that time. It
Oh,
was something that happened later. And again, it's because my mom. So it's just like, just not gonna touch it.
yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that and clarifying. Another that I want to ask about, and excuse me, it could be a little controversial, so if you want to tell me go kick rocks, that's fine. Um, so you mentioned during one of your interviews that, you're talking about coming in as a plus size model, and you said you were, 5'10" or however tall you said you were, and 115 pounds and, a size 6 or size 4, whatever it was. So a
Yeah.
lot of people were confused about that. And I want to say, like, I don't think we should be discussing or criticizing or dissecting women's bodies or anything like that, because then we didn't learn anything from the documentary, right? But I did just want to kind of
No,
ask.
no, I'm happy to clarify this.
Okay.
This is right. I have to go back and watch it because I'm not sure if I misspoke or if I was edited differently.
Mhm.
What I remember was that when I was in high school, I was
Okay.
5'10" and I weighed 115 pounds and I was trying to be a straight size model. I was still a size 6 because I have bones. I have
Okay.
big hip bones. When I was on top model, I weighed 145 pounds.
Okay.
And no, I was still a size 6. I just had
Mhm.
boobs and, weight otherwhere. But no, I don't want, if I misspoke on that, then I was totally wrong. And I actually remember when, when they said it on the show, I was like, the fuck did I just say? Because I was definitely not 115 pounds on the show.
Yeah.
Um, but I do want to go back because I don't know if you have access to it and see if I say specifically that it was on top model or when it was just when I was modeling and they just like cut it and put it where they wanted to.
Yeah, it's probably the latter. And I was also thinking
But like
maybe,
maybe, I don't know, but it's not something I would usually like oopsie daisy 30 pounds,
right.
like because when I was 115 pounds, that was like the skinniest I ever was. And I
Hmm.
was trying to be a straight size model in high school. Um, and I was running 10 miles a day and I was allowed to eat like a half an apple. Like it was really messed up. So like the 115 to 145 very significantly lives in my head. That so I don't know, maybe I misspoke, but it
No, that
seems
makes
like
sense.
it was probably the latter. But anyways, apologies if so, or even apologies if I did say the correct thing and they just aired it that way because that's not cool.
Yeah. I think also what it could have been is like a lot of people watch with the captions on, and if you said like,
50.
145, I guess is close to 50. So if you said 150 and it picked up like 115, I don't know.
Because that right would be accurate because actually when I was on the show, this is T. uh, when I was on the show, when I auditioned and did everything, I weighed 145 pounds, and they said when I came to LA in September to start shooting, I had to weigh 150 pounds.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so I had to gain 5 pounds.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever mentioned that before. Mm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks you for the tea. Um,
Sorry, I'm old. Like these things just come up now. I'm like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
that was kind of messed up. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Did you experience anything like that after the show in your modeling career? I know some other alumni or just, plus size models in general were like, oh, I had to lose 15 pounds or gain 15 pounds. Like I was in that
Yeah,
spot.
yeah. The crappy thing about being a plus size model is that you're never the right size. So
Mm,
like I'd go to a casting for like Liz Claiborne and like you need to gain 20 pounds. And then I go to one for Hanes and like you need to lose 15 pounds. And I never walked through a door and they were like, that's it, you're the right size. It was always gaining or losing. And I know I've mentioned this before, but plus size models are required to have pads, right? We have pads like custom made for our bodies so that when we go to a job and they say you're too skinny, you go, don't worry, I have my pads. And you put on these like shoulder pads to make your arms look bigger and around your waist so your waist is thicker and your hips. And this is like an $800 like bodysuit that you have
Mhm.
built, your agents have built for you,
Wow.
so that you can look bigger. So like, yeah, how messed up is that?
That is
But
real
obviously
messed
you can't lose 20 pounds in a day. So it was like,
Right.
I felt like as a straight size model, at least eventually you'll be skinny enough. But like as a plus model, just across the board, no one's ever happy with your size.
Yeah, that's really messed up. I've never heard the padding thing before, so that's great.
Yeah, we all plus size models have padding.
Yeah, wow. So, kind of taking a step back, how did you first get involved with the Netflix documentary? And I guess kind of what is the timeline of when you shot, if you can share?
Yeah, so the Netflix documentary, they sent me an email maybe February or January last year.
Okay.
And they said, we're doing a documentary. We're selling it to Netflix. There are other documentaries happening too. You can only pick one.
Okay.
um, and they said, we have no agenda. We just want to hear whatever you want to say about it. We're not trying to paint anyone in a particular light. We're just
Mm.
want honest stories. And they said they had a small budget, but we could talk about payment if I wanted to.
Mhm.
And I said, as long as you cover my hotel and my flights, I don't have to be paid. It's fine. So, and people are like, that's so weird. But I'm like, I would have been paid like $300.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, someone owns you when
Mhm.
you take their money. And I
Yeah.
don't do that. So this just wasn't worth it to me. And I was kind of like, yeah, I don't need your $300. I'm
Yeah.
not going to lose money to do your show, but like you can keep that. So I don't know. Maybe that was just me being an egotistical bitch, but I didn't take money.
Okay.
And then yeah, I think I flew out in March. Yeah, and I did 1 day of shooting. It was like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hmm.
And yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Just me on set. Nobody else was on, like no other judges, no other
Mhm.
contestants. I was the only one there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it seems like from other stories I've heard, it was like pretty much just two people in a day or one person in a day, and
Yeah,
they got it done. So,
which sucks because like I would have loved to have seen Miss J or
yeah,
Nigel.
that would have been fun if they did
Yeah.
like some group or like double, triple
Yeah,
interview.
I mean, obviously they did with each other, but I wasn't
Yeah.
part of that. And then obviously like the Peacock, I think, produced the one for E that's coming out
Okay.
called Dirty Rotten Scandals
Mhm.
and Agenda. Obviously, like so
Yeah.
I'd rather go with the Netflix one because I didn't think they were gonna paint anyone in an unnecessarily negative light.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, that answers my next question too, is if you knew about the other one ahead of time and if like you picked one, but it sounds like Netflix let you know that there were kind of multiple in the works.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, because Peacock called me while I was actually when I was on set with Netflix.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, we just want to do a like podcast or something, and I had to send it to their attorneys, and they're like, yeah, you can't do that. So,
That's
which is
funny.
fine. I don't care.
Like, actually, I'm on set for another one literally right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm happy. Like I was in the city, but it's like I'm not a model. I don't need the publicity. I'm not trying to do as many interviews as possible. I
Yeah.
just like you. That's why we're hanging out.
Thank you. So, kind of related to that, it was the number one show on Netflix for a while, and it has reached over 14 million viewers or views since or that we saw yesterday. I mean, how does it feel to kind of, I don't want to say be in the spotlight again because that makes it sound like you've been hiding in a hole, but
I kind of have been.
but kind
um,
of like, yeah, right there on TV, people's TVs again.
I don't know. It's weird. Honestly, I really hate the way that I look on it. I don't think that I just, okay, like, I just said this in the documentary and it didn't air, but like, I think no one is as mean to me as I am. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
And so I saw the like commercial for it and was like, oh my God, I look like Ursula. Like I have the purple vibes in the back and I have the red lips and So I'm like super pale, all black. And that's the sea witch I'm referring to.
Yeah.
So, and I just immediately was like, why? Why is the lighting so bad? Why is the lipstick like too pink? Why is it? It makes me look like I have bad skin, and I
No.
actually don't. Yeah. So I just like picked it apart and was like, well, shit. Because,
Yeah.
you know, if you're going to be on TV, the real purpose is just to make all of your ex boyfriends jealous, right?
Yeah, of course.
I just want to see me and be like, oh, she got away. um, because no, I'm older, but I'm not above being petty. Uh, so yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, well, that's not good. I don't like the way that I look at all. So yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to see yourself on TV, you know? And it's been a while since I've seen that. And I know even when the show aired and I was so much younger and I weighed so much less when I did Top Model, I hated the way that I looked that entire season too. So, and you know, we're still learning, we're still growing. Well, hopefully we're growing.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I thought you looked amazing. I thought everyone looked amazing. I have heard complaints from other people about the lighting who were on. They hated the lighting, but I
Yeah.
thought everyone looked amazing.
Well, thank you. And honestly, like people are so much nicer on the internet now than they used to be.
No,
I know most
surprising to
people
hear.
don't believe that, but it's completely true. And I'll
Mhm.
have like, I don't know, like 10,000 views on something or like 100,000 views on something, and I'll have like six comments that are like, "You look fat," and so should have won. And people are like, "How dare you talk to her like that?" And
Yes.
like, when I won Top Model, the internet was new, and like it was only there for the destruction of egos, you know.
Yeah.
Like people were going on my mom's private Facebook page, like your daughter's a fat fucking cow, loser. Yeah, there were whole websites devoted to hating me for how fat I was.
That's
So
insane.
now I'm like, every time I come on TV, I'm like, oh my god, here it goes again. Like here it comes, and then people are like, oh, you look really pretty. And I'm like, are we watching the same thing? No, I don't. Look at this. Look at that. You know, all this is wrong with me. So yeah, being a millennial is just like crazy. The world is a lot kinder in on that side of things now. So
Well, that's good to know.
yeah, I mean it's so nice. I really appreciate how kind people are.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
awesome.
I know that they're bad, whatever, but like
Yeah, of course.
you just don't know. I mean, it like wrecked my life, you
Mhm.
know, when I won. It was like it was horrific.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Ugh.
Now I am who I am today because of it.
Oh, true.
For better or worse.
So, where do you think America's Next Top Model goes from here? I know that's kind of a loaded question. She mentioned teasing a Cycle 25. Who knows if that'll happen with all kind of the fallout from this and maybe the next one, but I'm curious, do you think this chapter of reality TV and like the cultural moment is over? Do you think it's one of those things that'll come back every 5 to 10 years and they'll do a new documentary? What do you think about that?
Interesting. Yeah, the thing is, Tyra knows all publicity is good publicity. As long as we're talking about her, if it's good or bad, we're talking about her.
Yeah,
she is she is still relevant. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
So, do I think she'll do a cycle 25? Yeah, she probably will. She'll probably use the girls to model her hot ice cream. She'll probably
I was
make
gonna
it
say.
an influencer thing because there really is not a modeling industry anymore. Like I have
Mhm.
friends who are younger, drop dead gorgeous models. I mean, should really be supermodels.
Yeah,
And they're not because it just matters how many influencers, like how many followers you have, you know? Like, are
that's
you
true.
taking pictures of your food? Are people following you on your TikTok? Are you doing these dances? And like, that's really the shit that they have to deal with. And I hate that for them.
Yeah.
Um, but it also gives opportunity to people who aren't necessarily a stereotypical model height or weight or look,
Hmm.
and that kind of opens the door to them. But yeah, as far as like castings and go sees, no, people are looking at your presence on the internet now. Like that whole side of modeling that Tyra did does not exist anymore.
Hmm.
So if she does do it, it's going to look a lot different.
Sure.
But
Yeah, that's
also, it's like
interesting.
she just wants to be relevant, right? It's just
Yeah.
publicity. I think. I don't know why else, because I cashed my check and I disappeared. Like after I did the modeling for 10 years, I was like, okay, cool, we did it and check. And now we're done.
Yeah.
You
You
would
got
never, if I had as much money as Sarah Banksy, you would never see me again.
sure. Me
No.
neither. We talked about cycle 25. So, okay, I just want to highlight you for a moment because I know that you mentioned just now, like back in the past, you were getting a lot of comments about like, oh, I wish this other person won, or you're a plus size model, you shouldn't have won, whatever it is. So I just want to read off just a sliver of your accomplishments because you have had a kick-ass career. So for
Thank
those who don't
you.
know, I'm just going to read some right
I
now.
appreciate that.
You were named one of MSN's most influential women of the year in 2008, which is the year you won top model.
Hmm?
You are an ambassador for the National Eating Disorder Association, which I love. You've walked numerous runways, posed for the National Organization for Women's 5th Annual Love Your Body Day promo campaign. You have modeled for Forever 21, J.C. Penney, Panache Lingerie. I don't know if I said that right.
You did.
And perfect. And Target, Metro Style, Saks Fifth Avenue. You were the face of Torrid. You appeared on Below Deck Sailing Yacht in 2020. Shout out Bravo fans.
Yeah.
You were on Say Yes to the Dress on TLC, and you have owned a restaurant in Nashville, an ice cream shop in Florida. You've done so much, and that's just a sliver. So, yeah, I just want to give a shout out to you because you have had an amazing career and you deserve everything you've got.
Thank you. Yes, people don't realize that the jobs we do internationally, you don't usually see in America. And I didn't start working, like, in my opinion, as a successful model until I left Wilhelmina and signed with Milk Models in London full time. And I moved there. And then it was suddenly like, okay, you're flying to Greece today, you're flying to Singapore tomorrow, you're doing, all of these shoots all over the world. Here, you need to go to Australia. Like, and I felt like bam, 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 like I was finally had proven myself. Whereas the jobs in America, I felt like, I got JC Penney, I got Saks Fifth, I got Hanes campaigns, and like that was good and all, but I just didn't feel like a model.
Sure.
Um, and it was really important to me to prove myself because people were so mean to me
Yeah.
after I won. And even to this day, people are like, oh, like I really like you, but you shouldn't have won. And it's like, but I have had the most successful modeling career of all the winners.
Hmm.
And I know that because they brought it up on the documentary and they never aired that. And
Yeah.
apparently Tyra said it a couple years ago too, because I'm just not with it. I have kids. I have a normal job, pretty much. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just not part of it. But they were like, "Yeah, you have the most successful modeling career of any winner," and I feel like doesn't that mean that I should have won? Doesn't that mean that I like am good enough to earn this position now? And people are still
Mhm.
like, "No."
Yeah. That's crazy. Top model fans are intense.
Yeah, well, and I get it. I get it, but it's also like people give me hate for it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, first of all, I was not a judge.
Yeah.
Like, you get mad at me for winning because I
Right.
didn't pick myself. I'm glad that I won. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have, but if you want someone else to win, go talk to Nigel,
Yeah.
not me. And then
Yeah.
I worked my ass off. I modeled in Istanbul. I mean, I modeled literally all over the world. I was flying every 1 or 2 days to do photo shoots,
That's amazing.
and it's why I quit, because I was started to date my now husband and I never could see him, and he wasn't allowed to come with me on set, and he had even moved to London to be with me, and I was still like, oh, you got to go to Sweden today, and it was just like I just want to have like a life, a normal life. And so after I did Italian Vogue, that was my like, okay, I feel like I've done it. Like I've had the billboards in Times Square, I've had the magazine covers, I've done all the fashion weeks, and walked the runways and been all over the world. And now I can like go get married and do something I want to do and choose my own hair color and be in charge of how much I weigh, because those are things that I wasn't allowed to be in charge of.
Right.
What you wear, where you live, all of that was decided for me as a model. So I just had lost complete control of my life. And I felt like I'd done enough work that the fans from the show will hopefully hate me less than they do and hopefully see that I was the right choice.
Hmm.
And and then I just walked away. So I don't know. You can only do your best, you know?
Yeah. And thank you for mentioning Italian Vogue because I totally forgot to mention that. And that obviously is like peak for every model everywhere. So,
It was so funny because two things happened with that shoot. One, I went to Wilhelmina and I had dyed my hair back blonde. So they were like, dye your hair brown because no one wants to know who you are. And I was like, fuck this. I'm dyeing my hair blonde. I've just decided. So I bleach it blonde and I go in and they're like, you literally look disgusting. You look so bad. And
Italian Vogue or your agency said this?
my agents,
Oh, oh my God.
yeah, they're not nice people. Agents are not nice. They should put that on top model more. Um, and 2 days later, Italian Vogue called Wilhelmina and booked me.
Amazing. I was
I
going to
was
say,
like,
weren't
oh,
you blonde
really?
in
My
those
hair's too blonde?
photos?
Guess not for Vogue.
Yeah.
Um, and then also I had said, like, because at the time Vogue was doing a curve issue like
Mhm.
once a year. And I said, like, I'm glad that Vogue is doing curve, but like, screw Vogue for not having curves in every issue.
Right.
And my sister called me and was like, well, that goes your chance at ever booking Vogue. You're never going to get it. And then I did and was like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
And then
amazing.
actually, when people were like, oh, wait, I can't even find your Vogue spread. And I was like, oh, like I'm at my parents' house. We'll just do a search. And I Googled it and I found that like I was actually in Italian Vogue more than once.
Mhm.
But other time was for like a different campaign. Whereas like the one that am most proud of is the one that I booked as just like a regular model. They didn't book me because I was America's Next Top Model. Nobody gave a shit about that. I was in
Mhm.
Milan and they just booked me because they wanted my look for that spread. And it was like, okay, like I'm a real model to these people and
Yeah.
not just like a bullshit reality TV name.
Yeah. No, that's so amazing. I mean, how does it feel to have accomplished all that you have and you're not even 40? I mean, you've just like done so much. It's insane.
I um I feel like I've lived, like
Mhm.
I definitely feel that way. And I think that travel is a huge part of that for me. Um, it just made me feel more accomplished. Like, yeah, you could be a model and never leave New York, but it
Sure.
felt so much more real to me to be able to go all over the world. Um, but it's like, I don't know, it never feels like enough,
Yeah, that's fair.
never like satiated. It's something I don't ever want to do ever again, at all. But I feel like I did it, and I thought because of my career that people would be more like kind to me being a winner now. But like you still see people are like, no, you should not have won. So I don't know. I guess it's like the little you from back then like never really fully heals.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
so sad. So sad.
No, but it's real.
It's real. Yeah, it really does hurt. And it's like the same things and it's just like middle school. It's
Yeah.
like, but I've traveled the world. I've made all these accomplishments. I've owned my own companies. I had my own candle line and jewelry line and have been so successful and like done so much with my life. But
Mhm.
it's like it'll never be enough for some people.
Yeah.
And it does like it breaks my heart that some people still see me as just like someone who should have been a runner up.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like, Whitney, you're an adult, but it's true.
No, no, yeah, I get it. Well, I want to do kind of a rapid fire, if you will, for the ANTM contestants. Just some quick show related questions. So, first is what is your favorite and least favorite photo shoot from the show?
I could at rapid fire. Well, my favorite shoot was definitely the CoverGirl shoot at the end, just because it was a real photo shoot. No
Sure.
one was like throwing bees at us or lighting us on fire. It was like, oh, this is what modeling is. So yeah, love that. And then the least favorite shoot, just the Italian commercial count, because that one was
Yeah,
horrific. That was so bad.
that wasn't really good for anyone.
I was like breaking out in hives. My anxiety was so bad. Like, sure, I'll learn how to speak Italian in 15 minutes. Yeah, I think that was the worst one for me.
Yeah, that wasn't really
Most of us.
flattering for anyone, really.
Brasilia. Yeah, like
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's just like one of my, I think they call it like vocal stems or whatever. I'll just be like chilling throughout the day and I'll just say Brasilia in my head, like
You really
just randomly.
definitely still say things from the show too, things that I remember.
It's amazing.
Like, yeah, you get stuck, don't you?
So who was
Lash
your,
mascara, the power to blast those lashes. Why? Why do you remember that?
it's really ingrained in there.
Mhm.
Cover girl, hire her again.
No.
She still got it.
No, thank you.
Who was your favorite and least favorite judge or mentor? So whether they were a guest judge or, someone like Benny Ninja who helped you with challenges, stuff like that.
Oh, well, I love Benny Ninja. I have a great relationship with him, was always happy to work with him. Very supportive. So I'm glad you brought that up because I think I would have forgotten that we did a event with him. And then I'd probably say Vindala. I know Paulina hated me, but I didn't know that she hated me when I was filming the show. I learned about that after I watched the show.
Mm.
So I was like, oh, Paulina, that's my girl. Like, I just read her book, whatever. And then it came out, and she's like, she's a ham. Oh, okay. That would
Oh,
have been good to know ahead of time.
yeah.
But Vendela seemed to have a weird, like, vendetta against me. I think he just didn't like me being a plus size model.
Yeah, that was
You
my
know,
next question was how you feel about her like weird vendetta against you. It was
it was
so
weird, right?
yeah,
It
like
wasn't like everyone was doing weird things and bending over
mhm,
backwards, and I'm like, hello, I'm doing splits out here. I feel like I should get some credit. And she was like, just really hated everything about me.
yeah. She was like,
So
"You do not take this seriously," and you're like, "You're
I know.
serious to me." And then she's like, "Hmm."
Do you think though, like it's hard? I mean, with Paulina too, it's and Janice Dickinson. Look how much she hates, plus size models.
Hmm.
It's hard for the models who grew up in a time when plus size modeling was not an option. I think to deal with the fact that someone larger can be a model now, because you have
Hmm.
to think they probably lived on Diet Coke and cigarettes, just to stay that size and work as long as they could. And the shelf life of models who aren't plus size also is much younger. So yeah, maybe they just hated me because of the category I was in. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe not. Like I'm sure there was lots of valid reasons not to like me, but she didn't know me
right.
well enough.
It's
So
just like
it seemed
instant.
like it wasn't something I did so much as who I represented in
Yeah,
my
no, that's
in my
fair. Yeah, no, I agree. And I actually looked her up before this. Actually, like I think last week when you and I were talking about it, um, offline, and I looked her up, and she is, I guess would could be considered an older, mature, plus size model now. So it's interesting.
Oh, good for her.
Thought about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting how that
Yeah. Well,
unfolded.
and maybe I don't want to give myself too much credit, but maybe seeing a blonde who was bigger, I don't know, hopefully helped her feel like she could be happier in her body. Because I know, like, when I won, Tyra cried, and that was around the time she had the kiss my fat ass,
Mhm.
thing happening on her talk show. And I think, like, for models of that era specifically, like, that kind of shift was actually really significant.
Yeah.
I don't think we realized as much how significant it was at that time.
Yeah, especially because you were, or not you, but the industry was kind of coming out of like the 90s heroin chic, like extra skinny
Yeah. I mean,
era. So
even Nigel had like tears in his eyes. And, he was a model. His wife, I think, was a model. She's gorgeous.
yeah,
So I think it's like, yeah, it was a huge shift that I was too young to understand at that moment. But definitely after modeling for so many years, it's like, oh wow, like this didn't used to exist, as a category. I remember at Abercrombie, if you were a size 10, someone had to get out the ladder and walk to the top shelf to get a size 10. So it's just like it's such a different time.
yeah,
And Top Model was a pop culture phenomenon.
hmm
So I think it really did have an impact that, yeah, it was like unfathomable.
yeah. And you were still kind of in that time period where it was like a mega hit, and Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like falling off and like, 500,000 people were seeing it. It was millions and millions of people.
Yeah, I think that I just saw that the season before me was like the highest watched one of all time. Uh,
Okay.
but but most people say to me, which they might be full of it, that Cycle 10 was the last one that they watched. But I think what
Okay.
it did is it crosses over ages, So I'm sure a lot of people started watching Cycle 11 through 24 or whatever, which is, was not really relevant to us at that age.
Yeah. No, like I know some people who have talked about like they've only seen, the guys and girls cycles at the end because those were on Netflix during COVID or whatever. They're the only ones they've seen. And it's like, huh, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah, yeah, I watched, I've probably seen my season 3 times, like in my entire life.
Oh wow.
So was definitely not keen to like, let's watch some more Top Model.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
So this didn't age well. And I'm like, well, yeah, no shit.
You ever have a question about it, I could probably quote it from start to finish for you. So let me know.
Oh my God. I have friends who have been messaging me like, listen, I was having wine last night and I started binging. Now I'm on season 13. Like,
You're like,
turn
oh
off
crap.
the TV.
Well, last but not least, I want to ask, this is kind of the question, top models always get asked, so you've probably been asked a bunch, but do you keep in contact with anyone from your cycle?
On social media,
Mm-hmm.
like I think we all follow each other. Even Dominique and I follow each other. Um, and I talk to like Lauren and Claire. But yeah, I mean, my life is like, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not in the industry anymore. So the top model I probably talk to the most actually is You Want a House, the Cycle 2 winner. Because we're from the same town adjacent and we did some like jobs together and she was my favorite model watching the show. And so, um, yeah, she's probably the one I talk to the most. But yeah, I just don't have anything in common with them. So if they message
Right.
me, my life is just not that interesting. Hey, how are you? I was like, good. You? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm gonna be in Milan next week if you want to grab an espresso. Um, yeah, maybe 15 years ago that would have been a conversation I had with them. But
Yeah. No, it's just kind of
yeah.
like,
Hey, I'm going to Legoland with the kids. Do you want to meet me
yeah.
there?
Oh,
Yeah.
funny. Well, I will kind of wrap this up with asking if there's anything else that you want to share or say or anything like that.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm just an open book now. I'm not a model, so I don't have to lie. I don't have to pretend that I like things that I don't. Um, and it's really refreshing. I'm much happier now being
Yeah.
in control of my own life. But I'm an open book. Yeah, people can always comment on anything and I'll answer as long as I have time. So, and I'm on TikTok now. I'm way too old to understand what the hell I'm doing. But if you follow me there, I do lives and I try to respond to every single comment that I get, even the mean ones.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to link all your social media in the description and comments and tag you in all the videos so everyone can be sure to find you for sure.
Thank you. But I'm not like, you're not going to watch me doing photo shoots. Like, if you follow me, you're going to see me with like the dogs or the kids or traveling. Honestly, that's like more than anything. That's what I post.
Awesome. Who knows? Maybe you'll become like a mommy blogger, TikToker, not blogger, vlogger.
I like a vlogger. Maybe. I don't. Everyone's like, you could do this, you could do this. And it's just like, yeah, but once you turn in what you love into a job, it's not fun anymore. And I know that because of the restaurants that I've owned.
Mm,
I loved to cook. And then people are like, this recipe that was your grandmother's 80 years ago for fried chicken. They're like, I want this, but can you make it with no pepper and then sub gluten-free flour? And then, and it's just like, and then they get it and they're like, I hate this. It's awful. And I'm like, well, you did this.
right.
You
You changed it.
so yeah, after dealing with all of those frustrations, it's like, that's not who I am anymore. So
Fair.
I don't want to ruin my travel by like having to post it, but I do enjoy posting like when we were in Thailand with the elephants, like that was so cool. So if there's anything that I think like other people would like and the kids aren't driving me batshit crazy at that moment, then I'll try to share it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I definitely appreciate it, and I've loved
Thank
chatting.
you.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.